grand or X amount of money, when they're trying to make you someone that you aren't. So you need to make sure you get the university that fits you, okay? And have a good look, take your time. They need to impress you as much as you need to impress them, yeah? So when you go for your audition, you ask the questions. I actually work on the Lipper team now for auditions when I can, in between work. And I love it when people ask me questions that I'm not quite sure the answer of, because it makes me nervous of you, yeah? So getting up here in front of you guys, you're gonna ask me questions in a minute, and there might be one where I'm like, oh shit, yeah? It's very easy to talk about my story, but sometimes there's questions where I'm like, oh, he got me good. So, quick brief on my audition day, okay? This is what happened, it's horrible, it's a real horrible time, so keep rating yourself. Paid for the audition. Do you have to pay for your audition? Lucky person. I think we paid about 40 quid, well my mum and dad paid 40 quid. I was skint. We went into a Premier Inn. We were skint at the time as a family, we drove up to Liverpool. All the pressure was on. Dad wanted to get to the Beatles Museum. He's a drummer, so he wanted to go to Liverpool, but we needed to go to the Beatles Museum. We were skint, booked a Premier Inn for a family room. I was 18 years old, and you can't have a family room with a kid that's over 15. So I had to act and say that I was 15 years old, and I was shitting myself because I had my audition. I'm coming to school up here. And it was an absolute car crash, and I didn't sleep a wink because my dad snores like a runaway train. I took a demo CD in, so when you apply to some stuff, they want you to send videos in, they want to see CDs. How many people have applied for uni? You at the stage of applying yet? Auditions, yeah? How are they going? How was it? Good. Yeah? Good? Audition, good? Haven't done them, cool. It depends on the place as well. So sometimes when I went to London, I felt like I'd just been wrung out to dry, and it shit me up. I felt horrendous, I felt like the worst drummer in the world, I was going to quit and move to the moon. But instead, I went to Lipper, I took my demo CD and a portfolio, right? So people who are auditioning you will check out your skill, but the more music you do and the more proof that you are literally eating, breathing and living music, they will love it. Even though they say that won't add points to your performance, that won't add points to your interview, it fucking does, okay? It really does. It makes sure that it's like, oh, he lives and breathes it. If he's working this hard, if we get him a degree, yeah, he isn't very good at this drum beat, but he will work hard. And that's another reflect back to the people who don't turn up here. Well, what do? Oh, I haven't got a great portfolio because I only do that 50% of the time. Yeah, see you later, mate. Can't be asked. If you walk in 5 minutes late to a lecture, we'll tell you to fuck off. If you walk in 50% of the term, you're not going to be on it and we're going to take your money. See you later. So, get your portfolio really strong. Go to the audition over-prepared. Feel like the geek. I had my folder with me, my CD. Anyway, walked in, I played Paramore on drums because I thought beating the hell out of them as hard as I could would really impress people. And then I played a piano piece I'd composed. Contrast in his key. Don't be a one-trick pony. If you are a metalhead or you like certain specific music, sorry to pick on metalheads, if you are a punk rocker, if you are a jazz wizard, still play something else. It really is important to contrast, okay? I'm not going to lecture you too much on uni because I'm sure everybody has been saying this to you. I played Paramore. He wanted to hear or see more. If I didn't take my demo CD and portfolio, probably wouldn't have got in. Because what else could I say? I know I can talk a lot, but everyone can make up a bullshit story, can't they? So, I then took my demo CD, he listened to it. This old bloke, I didn't know who he was, he had a weird accent like that before. It's like, hey mate, you got a CD? I thought he was going to nick it. And then, so, I played the CD, and he's like, oh, really nice, you've got a nice voice. I was like, well, you're deaf. I don't know what part of the degree you teach, but it can't be music. And then I asked him where the Beatles Museum was, because I had a dad downstairs who was absolutely desperate to get there. So I had this guy hanging out of a window at Lipper, pointing down the dock road, saying, if you turn there, you do this, do that, in the middle of an audition. And I walked down, I thought, why did I just get him hanging out of a window in the middle of an audition? I've messed it up. I didn't know this guy until I got into Lipper, and it turns out that guy's called Eddie London. He played in a band called China Crisis that were huge in the 80s. They were on top of the pops, and they sold 7 million albums of their own music. And I asked him where the fucking Beatles Museum was. I definitely shouldn't have got in. I shouldn't have got in. Anyway, so just remember his face, because this is really important. This is really important. So, audition days, I've sort of been through it. With Lipper, as you'll experience, Sarah, right? Sorry, I'm really bad with names. You have your building tour, at any university you have your building tour. You've probably been told of this, so I'm going to whiz through it. Your individual audition, where contrast is key, and then with Lipper you have a group workshop. If you get in group workshops at other unis, just please be a nice person, say yes. I've been on the audition board for the group workshop for Lipper for the last 3 years. If there's an arsehole, just smile at them and be like, thank you very much, because the audition board will be like, arsehole, out. I wasn't directly pointing at you, I promise. Right? But like, yeah, arsehole, out, okay? So don't worry about that. Just be the nice guy, chat, be friendly, get the nerves out of the system. Is there any questions on uni life? Because I've talked quite heavy. So please feel free to raise your hand and ask a question. Anything, like auditions, accommodation, different people, different skills. No? Yo.
What was session work like at uni?
Session work at uni is great because it's really casual, because you're not getting paid for it. So it's like here, it's like if you're in a band, you go, oh, can you come and do band work? Can you come and do this? But it's a really good opportunity to like know your shit. The minute you treat it as like a friend, they won't ask you again. You go, why? Because even though they're your mate, you still got to be switched on. A lot of my first gigs come from the Lipper bar. So in Lipper there is an actual bar, and having a beer in there and people knowing you as a drummer, they're like, oh, that guy seemed really nice. It's like amazing how many jobs you get from just being a nice person and having a chat. It's not, the minute you're job hungry and you got people saying like, you're amazing, I want to be in your band, they freak out, okay? Don't do that, just chill, jobs will come. If you work your ass off in a practice room and do what you do, people will come to you. But like, being a friend thing, still do a good job. Because if you did a good job, they'll say, oh, Greg played on my track, he was great, you should try him, okay? It's a really good question because it comes on later. Lipper was probably the first time in my life where I walked into a room and started playing, like, holy Moses, I am in a pool of very special people. Like, there's some of my best friend Mikey, he's currently touring the UK with a guy called Louis Berry. Unbelievable, the biggest talent I've ever seen in my life. Like I'm a straight man, and I love that guy. Like, that was a man crush, instant man crush. He's like, I love him to bits. He's got the voice of a god, and he can play the piano like no one else. And he's amazing, right? So that was the first time at uni where I was like, wow, there's some real special people here. But it's quite funny because when I got there the first week, it was like Battle of the New Kids. It's kind of like when you come here, right? I remember being that kid. You come in, you're like, I'm going to show everybody what I'm going to do. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to play every fucking song I know. I'm going to mark my territory. I'm going to be like a dog. I'm going to cock my leg and piss on this lamppost, right? When you go to uni, it's like that on steroids. It's horrific, okay? You've got people who are just walking there like, it's ridiculous, yeah? It's scary. It's intimidating. You want to go home, which is miles away, to see your mum, and she can tell you how great you are, okay? But get through that, because underneath that, it's lovely. It's just nerves, and it's just everybody doing the same thing, okay? It's really intense. Stay humble and say yes to everything. You might think this geeky guy in the corner is going to be a terrible musician, and you don't really want to be with him because, like, you just come here and you want to be the cool kid and you're at the Lipper bar and it's going to be really awkward. That guy's going to be fucking famous, and you're going to be his best mate because you said yes to the job when no one did, and he's going to be amazing. Don't judge a book by cover, okay? I don't really look like a guy who's done certain things. I'm going to get to it, but I probably look really boring and plain to you guys, like, what's going on? And I don't know why, it's just been the journey. Right, so why Lipper? I've got to move this on. It was a great city, amazing history, new places, new musicians. It was all about the contacts, new place, get out of the city. I never thought I'd get in, so it's like when you're dating somebody and you think you're punching. Makes it a bit special, doesn't it? Because you always think, oh, I shouldn't really be here. So that was the case, and even though I didn't want to prove the tutor here wrong, I did feel like I've got to work my ass off. I'm very lucky to be here. And also, when you're looking at uni, like, check the people who went there. We walked into the lecture like this. It was like in the massive Lipper auditorium. It's like a 500-seater. The whole year group was in there. First year, we were all nervous. We all sat there. And Mark Featherstone Whitty, who is the guy who made Lipper and the Brit School, he teamed up with Paul McCartney, I don't know if you know that little fella, to talk about to make Lipper. And he come on into this big speech and he said, the person next to you could earn you a lot of money. And we just thought, yeah, biggest truth I've ever heard in my life. Like, I have been a full-time musician now, full-time professional musician for about 2.5 years, and 90% of the work has come from a friend or somebody I know, or I've worked with. Uni, what is good about uni? So if you're not sure what you're doing, you've all got to pick the right uni as well. It lets you be you. That is what a good uni does. If you feel you have to be someone else to go to uni, you're wasting your money, you're going to hate it when you move there, don't do it. If it feels like a bit of you and you feel like you really want to go there, go there. If it doesn't feel right, wait till next year. Because I've had a lot of friends who've gone to uni because their parents said it was amazing, they absolutely hated it, come home, £9 in debt, scared to go to uni again. Don't do it. It's no rush. You can have a year out, you can work your ass off. If you have a year out, please don't work in Wetherspoons or somewhere where it ruins like your gig life. You can't work somewhere where it doesn't let you do your career. If you're working, work alongside gigging. If you want to be a musician, find a job which works alongside music, okay? Because if it blocks your music career this early on in life, when other factors come in, you won't be able to do it. So always choose music. Like, if you want to do it, if it makes you happy, do it. It makes you work harder and harder if it's a good uni. If you respect them, they respect you. And at Lipper, they gig as much as you or more. Like the first year, they gig way much more. So like, when I was gigging in first year, and I was then finishing at about 12, but then I thought, I'm at uni, I'm going to go out and get absolutely slaughtered, because that's what uni students do. Okay, there's no secret about that. I would go into the lecture hungover, falling asleep, like looking how some of you guys are looking right now, and my tutor would literally just walk out and be like, "You all right?" In front of everyone. In front of everyone. I was absolutely mortified, and I was nodding off. I was like this, and he was like, "You all right, Greg? Yeah, stay with us." And it was really embarrassing. But you know what? That guy asked me to be his session drummer because he loved how hard I worked and still turn up in the morning. And I'd be like, "You knackered today, Keith? You look really knackered." He was like, "I played in Glasgow last night, got in at 4 in the morning, prepped this presentation," which they take long. I didn't realise how long this was. When I said yes to Nick, I didn't realise it would be this long. And still love you though. And yeah, and he's like, "Prep this lecture, I've had 2 hours sleep, I'm ready to go." And I was like, shit, I'm never ever going to moan about a hangover again in your class. And that was big respect. That mutual respect works. So what happened at Lipper? Quick thing. This doesn't happen at every university, but we did a Lipper Spain tour. What they do is they get a Spanish artist who signed, this one was signed to Warner Brothers Spain, and they come in for a week. This was the first experience of a real session musician gig. I was bricking it. It was near my 21st birthday. I've spelt her name wrong because the whiskey kicked in, or the rum, it turned into a blur last night. And yeah, we did a week's rehearsal, 2 dates in England, and then we got flown out to Spain to be a professional touring band. This was the moment where you were like, okay, I can't take this, even though I'm going with my mates, you know, they select people out of Lipper and you all do an audition, they pick you to be and they book you for plane and you're thinking, lads holiday to Spain, can't wait for Barcelona, gonna be an absolute session. No. You've got loads of work to do. This is scary. This is big stuff. You know what I mean? There's contracts coming in from Warner saying, you know, the playing rights belong to us and you are representing us. And I was like, oh shit, I've made it. This is it. Who needs Orchard Hill when I'm going to Spain? This is amazing. It was great. I'm going to show you a little video of what sort of happened, the tour life. This opened up my eyes. So this is the thing that uni's really good at. It opens up your eyes to things that you think's right now. And I'm not saying the course, I mean like externally, like bands and how bands work and your mates and your musicians and how everybody conducts themselves. Uni starts changing that because you're working with people who work as hard as you or harder. And without sounding arrogant, which I probably have sounded arrogant for the last 20 minutes because it's really hard to talk about yourself without sounding slightly confident, I was definitely one of the hardest workers in my year at college. And I don't care if that sounds arrogant, I was here every day and I didn't mess around and I worked my ass off. I went to Lipper, I had to work harder. Like I was flagging and I felt, it's a horrible feeling, isn't it? When you're playing, you're thinking, I haven't pulled my weight here. I'm really underprepared. So anyway, this is the Spain tour. It was amazing. It taught me what real musicianship's like. I'm only gonna play like a minute or so, but it's just to show you like what sort of places we went, what we did, and it was absolutely brilliant. There you go. So that was that. So that was really cool, and that was the point of like, it's a different level because it's professional. You know, we had a proper tour van picked us up from the airport and had comfy seats and no hole in the side of the van that was freezing. And then we had one rest day in Barcelona, and the artist was like, right, I'm going to treat you to a beach day, and then we're going to go out and party, and it was amazing. But it's one of those where, because we worked our asses off, and it was an